I'm going to give you a list of 5 things that have changed on Amazon in the last 5 years. The reviews was like the wild, wild west. Who do I choose when all the reviews are positive and everyone has a million reviews? And Amazon incorporated what they call the request a review button. So now when you make a sale on Amazon, you are able to select this button. It's literally something that you click, but ultimately it's going to be the best and most cost-effective option for your business. Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I'm going to give you a list of 5 things that have changed on Amazon in the last 5 years. For those of you who don't know, I've been selling on Amazon since 2019, and in the last 5 years, some things have remained relatively unchanged, and there are other areas that Amazon has definitely grown and made some changes as far as it relates to Amazon sellers. So I want to let you guys know what is different now compared to when I started, and things that you should be aware of when you're launching a product on Amazon in 2025. Before I get started, don't forget to go ahead and hit that subscribe button and like this video, and let's jump right into it. The first thing that I want to touch on is the way that reviews work on Amazon. Oh my gosh, you guys, back in my day, I sound like I'm a million years old, but back in my day selling on Amazon, the reviews was like the wild, wild west. I mean, I remember a time where everybody would have these fake reviews, and I hate to call them fake, but that's really what they were, or what they would call incentivized reviews, right? So essentially the Amazon seller could give products to customers for free or for a heavy, heavy discount, like 90% off, 95% off, and then the customer would be able to leave them a review. And the thing is, you would get these long, elaborate, gushing reviews. I'm talking about long paragraphs, okay, big text, with people just saying how incredible the product is, just for you to get to the very end for it to say this review was incentivized, or this product was given for free as a part of a, and so it made it very, very difficult for Amazon customers to find credible reviews and to actually be able to decide, do I want this product? Do I want to go with this seller? Who do I choose when all the reviews are positive and everyone has a million reviews? It just made it hard to know what was real and what wasn't. And so Amazon very intensely cracked down on this and shut it all down, okay? Any reviews that were left had to be from paying customers. There was a limit on the amount of a discount they could have and still leave you a review on Amazon. And so it definitely made it way more difficult, I will say, but not in a bad way, because realistically, you want to be able to give customers a good experience and for them to be able to order a product with confidence. So once Amazon made it so that they were much more intense with making sure the reviews were real, authentic customer reviews, it made it better for the customer, made them feel better about shopping. And I think it was a net positive for sellers as well. It's just the people at the time that were taking advantage of that system, of course, probably felt the impact of it the most. But either way, that has been long gone. That's been done with for many, many years now. And actually, just as a bounce off or a little piggyback off of this one, Amazon also now has incorporated the ratings option versus only being allowed to leave a review. So in the past, you were not allowed to just leave a star rating. You would actually have to write something. Even if it was something very brief, you would have to write something. And I think Amazon realized that that was discouraging people from leaving feedback. So rather than forcing people to leave a written review, they could now just leave a star rating. So they could just give it 5 stars, 2 stars, whatever. So it kind of made it easier for people to say how they felt about the product without having to spend the time actually writing something out. So it definitely helped Amazon sellers be able to gather more feedback, but it was less qualitative data. So you'd be able to see the sheer stars that you were getting, but you wouldn't know why someone gave you a 1 star or whatever. But either way, I think that it's a good option for customers who are busy or just don't feel like writing something. They can still, provide feedback to the seller so that we can help make improvements onto the product itself. So moving on to number 2, we're going to stick on the topic of reviews, and Amazon incorporated what they call the request a review button. So now when you make a sale on Amazon, you are able to select this button. It's literally something that you click, and you can also automate it with the different softwares like Helium 10, which you guys hear me talk about all the time. I'll go ahead and leave the link for Helium 10 down in the description so that you guys can try it out for free. But essentially Helium 10 will allow you to automate using the request a review button so you don't have to manually go in there and click on it for every single order that you get. In the beginning, when you're not selling that many units, it might be easy for you to go ahead and manually click each one. But as you scale and you start selling more and more product, you're not going to want to do that by hand. And so essentially what the request a review button is you having Amazon send an email to the customer on your behalf requesting a review from them. So in the past, if you wanted to communicate with the customer and ask them for reviews, you would have to use a third-party emailing sequence or emailing software where you could automate triggers to send out emails to customers after 3 days of receiving the product, after 1 week of receiving the product. And the problem with those email sequences, though they did work for a period of time, customers started to get irritated by it because they would not only receive emails from Amazon, but now they would also receive emails directly from the sellers, and sometimes sellers will be pushy or annoying and spam them. So Amazon definitely tried to combat that by having it be their own kind of system that sends out those emails, and those ones are much more likely to be opened by the customer anyway. So better deliverability, better results as far as customer engagement. So I highly recommend using that request a review button. If you are launching on Amazon, you're going to want to gather reviews and you want to have a handful of reviews on your listing as quickly as possible. So outside of using friends and family, you are going to want to utilize the request a review button for every single order that comes in. That way you are maximizing your chances of getting as many reviews as possible. Number 3 touches on the topic of fees, and Amazon has different fees that they charge to the sellers depending on your products, how many of them you have, the size, the weight of the products, all will have an impact on your Amazon fees. And these do change from year to year. So Amazon will most likely just increase it annually, but it's never anything that is a dramatic increase. I think they're actually pretty sensitive to knowing that they're going to cause a lot of upset and frustration with Amazon sellers if they make drastic changes. So as far as the pick and pack fee, for example, that is the cost that Amazon charges you to actually prepare and deliver the products to the customers on your behalf if you use FBA. So FBA stands for Fulfillment by Amazon, and if you want them to do your fulfillment and them to do your shipping, they charge you for that based off of the size and weight of the product. So periodically they will increase what that number is. So for example, if we're a small size product or what they categorize as a small product, they might say that the fee for that is $3, but then the next year it might be $3.05 or $3.04 or something like that. So it's never going to go from 3 to 10, it's not going to be a dramatic increase that way, but Amazon does, increase it in tiny increments. And I think that just is kind of in line with inflation, cost of living, and everything else that goes up year over year. So I think the takeaway from that is that you want to make sure that you're not selling products that have very small profit margins. When I say very small profit margins, I'm talking anything that's like $2 or less per unit is not a good profit margin. And for those of you who don't understand what I'm saying, if you are selling a product on Amazon, you want to make sure that for every product that you sell, you are making at least $5 off of each one. So that means the cost of the product plus your fees plus anything else that is an expense is what you're going to subtract from the selling price of the item. And once you subtract your expenses from your revenue or your sales, how much you're charging for the item, that's how you get your profit. And that profit number, you don't want that to be less than $5. However, if you have to go down, make sure at any cost it is not less than $2. That is too small of a profit margin and you're not going to be able to sustain that. If Amazon increases 5 cents, 10 cents, 15, 20 cents even, if you have $5 to work with, you're not going to miss that 10, 20, 30 cents. But if your margins are $1, that 20 cents, that 30 cents is literally 30% of your profits. And it's just not going to be something that you're going to be able to keep up long term. I don't say that to scare you. I'm just saying that so that you know why, I talk about having high profitability and having healthy profit margins so that whatever impact there is from increased fees or something unexpected, you can absorb that and not have it affect your business. So moving on to number 4, and while we're still on the topic of fees, Amazon has incorporated a new way of receiving inventory from sellers. And in the past, there were no fees associated with them just receiving your items. And it It can still be that way now. You do have the option of doing it that way. But if you do not want to pay for Amazon to receive your items, you are going to pay for that on the back end with your shipping. I talked about this in one of my more recent videos. I'll put it up here. But in that video, I mentioned how now there are fees for Amazon to place all of your received inventory in one fulfillment center versus splitting it up amongst the multiple. So if you don't want to pay anything to Amazon, you can do that, but they were going to have you send your inventory to multiple locations. And what I mean by paying for it on the back end is that you will have to pay your supplier extra to split your shipments to all of these different locations versus them delivering it all just to one place. And so most of the time you're going to have a cheaper alternative by just paying Amazon their placement fee to have everything sent to one place. It is annoying, but it is what it is. And ultimately, at least you have the peace of mind of knowing that your products are all going to be received in one place, which minimizes the chances of something getting lost or, your items not being received in a timely manner by having them all sent to one place. So my advice to you, in my opinion, is to just pay Amazon. It's gonna vary. I would budget like $100, maybe $200 for that placement fee, but ultimately it's gonna be the best and most cost-effective option for your business. It does not hurt to ask your supplier, hey, if I split the shipment to these multiple places, what is that cost going to be? You can compare and contrast it, but most likely that will cost you more to split it up that way than to just have Amazon receive them all, and then Amazon through their network and their, process and algorithm, they're going to figure out where the products need to go. And that's it. They'll do that on their end and you've already paid them. So that is what I'll say there. Like I said, in the past, when I first started, it wasn't that way where you would just pay to have it go to one place. They would just tell you, hey, all your products are going here, or they're going to these multiple places, and you didn't have a choice. So now I like the idea that they're giving you a choice, of course, knowing that you have to pay for it, but it is what it is. And at the end of the day, it's not going to make or break your business or your bottom line. And rounding out our list at number 5 is Amazon just trying to incorporate social media or components of social media more into the platform. So what I mean by this is, I'm not sure if you guys have noticed that when you're shopping on Amazon now, you'll see many more videos, and it almost kind of seems like Amazon is wanting to promote their products in a way that feels more similar to social media. Like if you were scrolling on TikTok or Instagram or any other platform, they want you to be able to see engaging content that at the end of the day, the point of that is to sell to you and to get you to want to buy more products and feel better about spending your money there. So it's something that I have noticed as a seller and also as a consumer on Amazon. I see definitely a lot more content that is kind of based around demonstrations and actually showing off the product. This is how it works. This is how I use it. I know that Amazon partners with influencers as well for Amazon Live, where they will go live and promote products as well. And so it's a very interesting thing to see because it almost kind of reminds me of QVC. And if you guys are on TikTok, if you're scrolling and you see people promoting items on TikTok Shop, it kind of gives a little bit of that energy as well. So me personally, I don't mind it. And I do think that there are definitely ways that you can use it to your advantage if you're a seller, but it is interesting to see because when I started, that's not something that they were pushing at all. It's not something that you would see very often. Amazon was very, honestly, basic. Like you just go on the website, you look at the products and everything is right there. It was very simplistic. And I think they are trying to keep up and compete in other areas that they're not even in, realistically. And I think Amazon is known for that. At first, it was just Amazon selling books, and then they moved into all products. And now Amazon offers, I think, health insurance and groceries and all these different things. It's like they're trying to have their hands in multiple buckets or eggs in multiple baskets. And I guess that's just the Amazon way. So I'm not surprised that they are trying to, add that social media vibe and feel into the platform as well. I hope you guys enjoyed taking a walk down memory lane with me back to 2019 when Amazon was Still the same platform, but looked a little bit different compared to what it is now. And hopefully you feel more prepared to actually start selling on the platform now that you know how things have changed over time. And I just want to encourage you and let you know that there's still so much opportunity to do well selling on Amazon. If you take note of the way that they want things done, and if you pick the right product, you'll be in great shape. So go ahead and check out some of the other videos on the channel, and I'll see you guys in the next one.